Explosion in information technology.
If there is one area of business that has experienced revolutionary changes in the current era, it is information technology. This has changed the manner in which businesses operate. The volume of data that can be accessed has increased exponentially. This has led to larger and richer sources of information that companies can utilize to strategically plan their future courses of action. Although more information can help in making informed decisions, it can also pose certain challenges. The ability to decide what information is useful for long-term planning and what should be used for short-term decision-making. With the advent of the Internet and the data, information that may be accessed through it, it has become a challenge to extract that information that is relevant and constructive in charting a roadmap for the company. This information will have an impact on all of the issues shown in the outer loop of the organizational wheel in Figure 9.1. For example, information on competitors can be utilized in evaluating the relative performance of an organization. Subsidiary issues in this context could include the choice of the attributes and corresponding performance measures to be utilized. In most situations, there is more than one dimension on which performance can be compared. For example, price might be one dimension, while delivery lead time could be another. The relative competitive position of an organization may, however, be different for the various metrics. Information specific to each attribute may thus influence the action plans to be followed by the company. These may in turn influence the strategic plans, goals, and objectives as the feedback loop is completed. Consider, for example, a company that has an efficient manufacturing operation that enables it to maintain low unit product cost. Implementation of quality initiatives may focus on methods to maintain or improve manufacturing efficiency, and the company may be ranked relatively highly on this dimension. However, suppose that in terms of delivery lead time, it has been found that transshipment time is long as products must wait on completion of production and must then follow a network of intermediate modes before arriving at the final destination. The relative position of the company on this dimension may thus be low. In analyzing information on potential alternatives with regard to distribution, it finds that it can outsource transshipment activity to a vendor, which will significantly reduce delivery lead time. This information not only will influence implementation of an existing strategy but may also impact the formulation of a revised strategy. Another item of significance in this context is the ability to decipher critical information from among all that is available. This is a similar issue to the often used Pareto principle, where the task is to identify the vital few from the trivial many. We are bombarded by data on a continual basis through a variety of media such as television, the Internet, journals, and annual reports. It is a not insignificant task to process the data and integrate it into a cohesive form that provides meaningful information. Management must have adequate processes to extract information from relevant sources. Conversion of data into information is a crucial part of this process, for strategic and tactical decision-making relies on information. The depth of information requirements will depend on the level of decision-making. For setting a company vision, mission, and strategic plans, macro-level information is typically utilized. This may include information on opportunities and threats relative to the environment in which the company operates. For operational decisions, more detailed micro-level information, categorized and segmented based on the purpose of decisions, will be necessary. Such micro-level information might be that used to identify strengths and weaknesses of the organization, determine employee and organizational needs, and evaluate customer needs and the extent to which they are satisfied. Because of the inherent complexities and interrelationships among units within an organization, it may not be feasible to come up with a quantitative model that adequately captures the relationships between inputs and outputs. This does not, however, mean that the available information cannot be utilized for decision-making. The availability of newer hardware and software technologies is making it increasingly feasible to combine the available sources of data and transform them into useful knowledge. For example, artificial intelligence tools can use historical data to provide possible solutions to problems similar to those that have occurred in the past. Advances in computing power mean that what a mainframe machine could accomplish a couple of decades ago is now within the grasp of personal computers. Furthermore, advances in computer software make it feasible to analyze massive amounts of data that could not previously be handled. Algorithms have also been developed precisely to address the issues of extracting information from large databases. One tool that has emerged from this is data mining. Using such techniques allow organizations to drill down and extract patterns and trends that would otherwise be difficult to detect.